Dear Uncle Hottie, I'm a day 72 subby because I like to wait until after 69 to, come.
Okay.
It's my lady's O.J. Simpson birthday. More Jasmine and Blake. From Jared Beeks. He does not give his lady's name, so apparently she's 32. And so if you're 32 today and your man is Jared Beeks.
And he thinks that 69 is funny. Happy birthday.
Uncle H.M. It is my Adrian Beltre birthday.
There you go. That's acceptable.
It's simple, straightforward.
29.
My leaders are Dan's Eclipse Enthusiasm. The 2-week life of the dumb phone.
Yeah, remember that?
Not all ideas work.
What's the dumb phone?
See?
We set up like a voicemail line and then just sort of like, it's not really worth it.
And facts about Picasso living in modern time, like the fact that Picasso and Dan were alive at the same time, from Omar.
Who would have thought?
I was trying to impress my daughter last night because I'm watching a show called The Offer. Are you familiar with it?
Maybe.
It's on Paramount Plus. It's about the making of The Godfather.
Ah, yes, I have heard about this.
It's very good.
I have heard about this.
I watched
Miles Teller, right?
3 episodes, yeah.
Is that old? Like, not old, but a couple of years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, then I was telling my daughter about the Picasso bit.
How'd that go
I'm
over?
like, hey, when do you think Picasso was alive? And she's like, I just took an art class in France. Like an art history class living in France. So I'm pretty aware of that he wasn't alive in 1600.
Yeah.
I told her to go to her room and shut up.
So you didn't do the... he saw the dolphins go undefeated.
Well, that's what I was starting to tell her about how he saw The Godfather and then saw...
But once she cuts you off at the pass, like the second part of the bit is probably useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to wish a happy Dirty Martin Brodeur birthday to my son, Michael Roop. He's a second-generation DF.
That's cool.
His leader is Jake's reliance on the verbal crutch like from Michael Roop.
It's gotten worse. I'm trying.
You think so?
I'm trying to stop it. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I hate when somebody will point something out to me, and then I listen, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And there, I just...
Yes, of course.
Okay. How do you stop? How do you change the way you talk if that's the way you've talked for a decade?
What I used to do was, and this is foolish, but I would, and I'm glad you never saw this, I would put a Post-it note on my computer.
So that it would remind you?
Mm-hmm.
You become mindful of it once you are self-aware that you do those things.
Yes.
And then
Drives you crazy, but then you can...
You'll introduce more pauses into your...
That's been our point all
speech.
along. I think Blake might have been the first one who pointed this out about Greg Olson. He has a very odd meter, and I think it's because he doesn't want to sound like he doesn't know what he's talking about. So he'll introduce these pauses, and then he'll go to the next point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Firing over a few dollars to get the shout out from my father, Morris Vestor Johnston. He hates his middle name, so I like to bring it up as often as possible.
I read this email about 4 times and thought, there's no way that that's actually his middle name. Vestor?
Is it a nickname for Sylvester?
It feels like the sort of thing that Dan would say as a short word for investor, thinking it was cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Got a couple.
Write that down for Business Wednesday.
Investor.
I'm going to use that.
On the phone with a couple vestors.
Also, shout out to my father-in-law, Joe. Their leaders are Dan's Value Bets and Jake hating the birthday numbers bit. More intern from Philip.
Wow.
I feel like intern Rachel is polarizing.
Oh, is that so?
Some will say more. Some are anti-intern Rachel. That's the way somebody that's good on the air should be, right?
100%. That's my other verbal crutch. But also, how do you know? Why are you doing this?
Because I'm getting birthday emails that'll say, they might say less.
Okay,
less
if it's email, then that's fine. But in the last 2 years, this guy's turned
Don't
into...
be upset if I went to the Reddit page.
I learned from him. right? Like, so at the start of my career, I was way too invested in what people thought about me. And time again, this guy would say, it doesn't matter.
He's the king of I don't
Who
give
cares?
a fuck.
Yeah. And I eventually internalized that, learned it, and then we got sued, and I said, I don't want to see any of this. And I've followed through on that. And now he gets up and checks. He's got a Google alert for his name. He's checking every single social media
serious?
site.
He's got a Reddit burner.
Yeah.
Dan.
It's insane.
I'm posting on there.
Yeah.
Jake sucks.
I'm posting more Dan.
I appreciate it,
I think it's because he's now.
but it's just weird that he turned into this person.
Well, it's because he now works for himself. He's the owner. He works for himself. He's the owner of the company, and he wants to hear what the people want.
Speaking of Kane,
Right, Dan?
that used to be, Jay got famous for that a couple times, like local write-ups. Jay would go on there and just straight up battle on Yelp.
Oh, really?
Like if somebody had a nonsensical bad review,
Yeah.
he would just flame them.
He'll do that on Facebook too. I follow him on Facebook, and he will post all of the negative reviews and his replies.
Yeah. I feel like my
Great.
buddy Travis Heim went to that same school where they just, why not? You already had a bad time. Now
So
I'm
should we
embarrassed.
get into the Reddit page and just start firing away at people?
I don't want to do that at all, but if you want to, you're free to.
Why don't you do it?
No, I don't. I don't. like,
Video
I don't
Man
wanna
seems
post.
pretty all over the. Yeah, let Rachel
just
do
like-
it.
I just like to. I'm a voyeur. I want to sit in the corner
Yeah.
with what's his name.
Jerry
Does he know what I'm thinking?
Falwell Jr.
He does know what I'm thinking.
Of course he does.
Come on.
Day 120 DF from Andrew McCraw. He says, yesterday was my Ray Allen on the Heat birthday. This is a great bit, Jake. Calm down.
Okay.
The highest WAR for an MLB player wearing my age number is Randy Johnson at 101.1.
Damn. That's insane.
Let's see. Dan, I also flew to Paris recently. The airport is the worst airport I've ever experienced. I never want to fly there again. What's with Europe charging money to use public toilets? Is that done?
Yeah, well, I mean, with a lot of places, you at least you can't just go in and use their bathroom. I recall going to McDonald's or a coffee shop or something, and there's a code on your receipt.
Oh,
So
interesting.
you can't. So even if you just walked in there and
That makes sense. Why not? Why doesn't Starbucks and everybody do that when they
Well, I
say you
think
have
they-
to buy something?
the code,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do the code thing.
yeah, it works. Bathroom doesn't work otherwise.
You know, I got a code on my door, the office at my house.
I did not know that.
I got it put in when. Yeah, remember I told you I locked it when Trey was there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
I got it put in because A1 Locksmith hooked us up. We did the front and back door, and then I said, "Hey, while you're here," like my brother was visiting with his kids a week later. I was like, "What if you just put one up there on that door?" And they're like, "Oh, okay."
Weird.
And then I could just lock it, and
Really don't usually put these on interior doors.
my grimy it's an outdoor thing. My grimy little nephews couldn't get into the den.
Smart.
That's how much he hates them.
Smart.
More Julie, more Sarah Hepala, and more Blake. That's from Andrew.
Why are we scared of Reddit people?
I'm not.
No. But do you understand? Like, you can get in a Twitter fight with somebody or say whatever you want, but there's something about Reddit people that I'm kind of afraid of.
They seem
think-
smarter, don't they?
They definitely seem smarter. I think it's that they're very online.
But they can be.
They're even more online.
But they're more mean. Like, they will rip you apart on Reddit
and
in a way that they won't do on more public platforms.
The reason that I don't really look at that stuff anymore is because most of the time when I do and it's something negative, I'm like, fuck, they're right.
Yeah.
You know?
The few times that I've seen it, they're usually on point.
I'm like, yeah, that one tracks.
And Rob, I have one VM picture I wanted to use. This is Uncle Hottie. As strong DFs, my husband and I could hardly believe our eyes when we saw that there is a Chisolm Trail in Wichita, Kansas. We instantly thought of you and, jizz. To make things even better, my husband happened to be wearing his Dumb Zone shirt that day. We thought y'all might like to see the photo evidence.
That's incredible.
Is it possible that there are as many Chisolm Trails as 9/11 memorials
No
in the
way.
U.S.?
No way.
Well, it's an interesting one. I don't know.
My husband and I thought of you and jizz.
She signs off with
What?
She signs off with more intern Rachel
There it is.
from Shannon and Andy Reid.
Oh, Andy Reid, huh?
Yeah, Andy Reid. So, like, Raymond is doing a contest. It's on whatever that website is that you told me, and I
Yeah,
said
but
that's really easy. I won't forget that.
It's dumbzonemerch.com still.
But do you think there could be a thing where we have, if you take a picture by the 9/11 memorial wherever you are, or the Chisolm Trail of your choice?
So previously when we talked about this, you said it was already a little bit too complicated for your liking. and this is your modification that you would like to. I think they're all great ideas.